Oh, yeah.
On second, Jacob.
Ooh. Might have to edit this. Yeah. It's fine. Oh, God. Good enough. Hold on. I'm trying to set up the live again. What does it have to edit? No one's listening.
They're just sitting. Holy shit.
All right, what's going on, homies? Back again on the Hardwood Homies. And stop laughing at me. Trenton DeRocher, Jacob Owens.
Yeah.
I'm not letting him say his name. He's lost that privilege. Welcome back to the Hardwood Homies. Got another Rockstar episode for you guys today. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you're listening to this on the YouTube at some point. We could definitely use the subscribers and just show us some love.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, actually. Yeah. No, sorry. Your intro, I thought you were gonna do something a little different, but yeah, no, let's just see. I can't even focus.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
I think biggest game of the week, probably Alabama, Tennessee, correct?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, no, great game. Tennessee's defense really smothered again. You wouldn't think so given the score, just because Alabama puts up so many points. But yeah, I don't know. I got distracted by the comment.
Yes, he did shave.
Keegan's
No,
asked,
trimmed?
did you shave? Yeah, more of a trim job I got going here. I just wanted
Got
to
a trim job.
accentuate the mustache. It's kind of some lighting stuff. You saw it last night. We went to dinner with your coworkers. Anyway, it's getting personal on the homies. We gotta get back to what we do.
The side plots. Yeah, no. So Alabama, Tennessee, really big game because Tennessee had lost 2 games last week.
Yeah,
Went over-
Missouri and Vanderbilt. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
they really needed a win, and they were able to get one at home. So
They're number 10 and Alabama's 2. Oh,
3 at. Oh yeah, 2.
okay, yeah.
2. I think
Well-
Houston went back to 1, right?
Or maybe they were 1 actually. Now they're gonna get.
They
back.
were 1.
Okay.
Yeah, at the time. Now they're 3.
Okay. Yeah. So no, that was a big game of the week, but it was part of these rankings that this guy thought up. And yeah, what happened with the rankings
With our picks?
we
Yeah.
picked 10 games
Even
last week,
split. We both won 5 for 10. Doesn't sound super great, but you get what you pay for. So
They're not paying.
they're not paying.
They're not
Exactly. So they get nothing.
No, honestly, not bad. So I just want to kind of go game by game. UConn at Creighton. I picked Creighton. They won. Baylor at TCU. We both had Baylor. UCLA at Oregon. We also both had UCLA. Alabama, Tennessee.
I did not. We both picked Xavier to beat Marquette, and we were both wrong.
Close game.
Yeah. And then we both picked Indiana against Northwestern, and Northwestern pulled off a heck of a weekend. We'll have to get into that.
That shocked me.
The next game, I picked Iowa State over TCU. You picked TCU.
I was wrong.
Yeah. And then Miami at North Carolina. I went with my heart instead of my head and picked Miami, and I was right. Jacob's a UNC fan, so he picked North Carolina.
Yep.
Creighton played against Providence. I picked Creighton. He picked Providence. That was a Jacob win. And then Alabama at Auburn. I picked Alabama. He picked Auburn, and I won. So, yep, there's a tied 5-5. And we got more of this week coming up soon. But
did we? What's the punishment? We didn't actually decide on that.
No, we still haven't. Yeah,
we'll have it next week.
we're still up to suggestions. But
I mean,
this is going to go through like the rest of the year, right?
Yeah.
Or is there going to be a punishment every week?
No, we're not punishing every week. That's weird.
That's what I was thinking.
No, that'll be weird stuff. No, it's at the end, so we have time. I almost think we end it before the tournament. Because I mean, we're making
Yeah,
okay.
definitely.
So we got about a month.
Yeah, we'll have our bracket challenge again. I don't know what we'll do. Definitely, whoever wins will probably be able to come on the podcast again. I would assume.
Yeah.
And then
that's true. Your sister came last time.
Yep. Hurts to bring up again, but yeah.
You loved having her.
That was
you were gushing. love.
Sure.
Anyway, so yeah, before we get into like the picks for this week, Northwestern.
Yeah.
You kind of
What
brought
a
it up.
yeah, no, absolutely amazing weekend for them. Trying to make their second March Madness tournament ever. They got a big win both home games, I guess, against Indiana and Purdue this week. Purdue's kind of sliding right now, but yeah, Northwestern's really turning it on at the right time.
Yeah, Indiana's 14th in the country. All isn't like the
Mhm.
Indiana team of a month ago.
Right.
So yeah, that was a big win. That kind of, I don't know, it did shock me. Like,
Yeah. Well, they got off to
did.
such a big lead early. Indiana nearly came back and
Yeah.
won, but they survived.
Didn't they lose by 2 or something?
Yeah,
Like,
game winner with like 1 second left. Boo Buoy for Northwestern. Boo Buoy. Yeah.
Shout out Blue Buoy.
Shout out Boo Buoy.
They're legend.
Yeah.
But yeah, Northwestern relevant again. Probably will make the tournament for the second time ever.
Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt, though. They're pretty much in no matter what, I'd say at this point. I mean,
they really.
unless they literally lose out, would probably be like the only way.
Yeah, which I'm happy about. That's one Big Ten team. I'll cheer you on.
It's funny how all the ESPN people are Northwestern people, so they're always so hyped when their team like does something, because Northwestern, big journalism school.
Big
A lot of ESPN people went to school there, so they have an affiliation with Northwestern. So it feels like every time Northwestern's pretty good, it's all over ESPN. So.
Oh, I wonder why. But
same with UConn because they have the big studio in Bristol, which is like right by. So like they're always talking up UConn, like especially the women's team. I feel like there's a lot of talk with ESPN.
I agree with that.
So good.
Yeah, that is weird. And then Purdue is complete free fall. To be honest with you, they've lost 2 in a row, but I think 3 of the last 4. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
They lost to Indiana.
And then lost to Indiana, Northwestern, and Maryland.
This week, last night was Maryland.
Last night was Maryland, yeah.
And not really close.
Mm-mm.
Lose by double digits. But I don't know. The biggest thing I've noticed the last 2 games is they're shooting terrible from 3, like 15% and 22% respectively.
Which is really hard to do considering how many good looks they're getting.
Yeah.
Because like they're double teaming, triple teaming, sometimes Edey. He's kicking out to wide open dudes and they're just not hitting.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's like in one game, they shot 22 threes, one of those 2 games. And you almost want to say stop shooting. But if your guy is getting double teamed down low, what else? You can, I guess, take mid-range shots. That's low percentage, but maybe they're better off the way they're shooting. But that's kind of their weakness, I think. We can get into it in the team preview, which we'll do this weekend. But
I didn't see much of the Purdue-Maryland game, but I saw they were down like 16 or something, and I went to look at the stats to see. I was like, is Edey in foul trouble or something? And he wasn't. I mean, he had like 1 foul. And it was like late in the second half.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was just pretty surprising. So
no, he he didn't do tremendous though. He had like 18.
Yeah,
he on a balanced team that should be enough for sure.
Right,
but it's not. And Purdue fans are probably upset, you would guess, and we can say they're overrated and all this, but they're not a team you want to play. Like, let's be honest, dude. You don't want to play most teams this year, but let's not
it'd be hard to
overreact.
You're playing the best player in the country, so
yeah, exactly.
It wouldn't be great.
They have one hot game or one game where they maybe hit even 30%, which they weren't even close either game this week, 30% from 3, and you're probably going to get beat pretty bad.
Yeah, it was a tough stretch, too. I think all 3 of those games were on the road, so it's not like people were coming into their building and beating them or up or anything.
Yeah, giant game to Northwestern when Purdue came to town. So
Yeah.
That's the thing. When you're one of the best teams in the country, every game you play is that team's biggest game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Now that the Big Ten's like really big powerhouse is getting knocked down a bit, it's kind of I don't know. Now it's like who is lifting the conference up, because we're under this impression that they're so good, but it's like, okay, who?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you there. We've gone after the Big Ten a couple times, and I don't know what to say now, because on the one hand, it's like, oh, maybe there's some good teams now that are catching up to Purdue, or is it no, Purdue was never that great. I don't know. And
Yeah.
they can lose to mediocre teams. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. It's one thing if Purdue's in the Big 12, and then I say no, but it's like it's the big. I was going to say it's like the Big 10. Well, it is the Big 10.
It's like the Big
And
Ten.
it's a bunch of solid teams, but they're nothing special. We go on
I
about
feel
this
like
every
it's
week,
similar to I feel like similar kind of to the ACC in a way,
there.
uh, where they're just kind of all their middle teams are pretty good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Well, and then
I think the ACC is solid though. I don't know. We'll have to see.
I agree with you.
But
You were kind of hesitant to bring this up, but Miami, not just because he's a fan, but I mean they had a tough stretch. They did really good.
yeah, yeah.
Go
No.
fanboy.
Well, beat North Carolina and Duke. Duke at home smashed them. North Carolina on the road was a close win, and then beat Clemson on the road too. And those are three really big wins to get right in a row. We also beat Louisville in that time, but
Yeah,
yeah, it was kind of one of the tougher stretches of our schedule all season. And to come, I was just kind of hoping we'd go 2 for 3 in those games, but ended up winning them all. So yeah,
no, I know. And we
we're
talked.
starting to peak
It's
right
like
now.
even if they win like 2 out of 3 of those tough ones, it'd be
Yeah.
good, and they won all of them. So I mean, yeah, Miami's a dangerous team. Probably one of the best. I don't know. I'd say backcourts and
Yeah, no,
Oh.
definitely. And Jordan Miller has been incredible lately.
yeah, the guy I don't even think about ever.
Yeah,
But yeah, he's probably one of your best guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
I actually am beginning to think he might be our best player. And which is saying a lot considering all that Wong does, but Miller is so much more efficient. Like Wong can makes a bunch of plays and he's always touching the ball and you just think you'd be the best. But Miller is so consistent. He shoots the ball well. He can drive it. You know, he's if you put a big guy on him, he's too quick to guard, for a big. But then if you put a guard on him, he's got good footwork inside and you can just score on him inside. So he's a really bad mismatch problem for teams. And if Miami can like feed him the ball, it seems
Yeah.
like good things usually happen. So
Yeah, exactly. Definitely a dangerous team. Well, better than last year's team, I'd say for sure. The way they've been playing as
yeah,
of
I
late.
think last year's team kind of got hot, but I do think this team's top to bottom better. They definitely have more depth. So
It's big in March. Yeah. Speaking of depth, Arizona, we don't have any, but we're playing about 7 people. Big win last night. 26-point win against Utah, who beat us pretty bad
yeah,
early on. I mean,
Yeah.
we lost to Stanford over the weekend though, and we got exposed again, I guess, by a bad team. I don't know what you'd call it. Yeah, we're a 3 seed in projections now, which we'll get into.
I'm sure. Yeah,
Which I don't care about. It's just more I don't know what to make of Arizona. To be
yeah.
honest with you.
I don't either because I think they are definitely like in terms of talent, a top 1 or 2 seed.
Yeah.
But in terms of resume, it's hard to. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't. It bothered me a bit. Tennessee loses to 2. Okay, a nobody and a solid Missouri team, and then I know they beat Alabama. So then everyone they lost to is forgiven, and they jump us
Yeah.
when we beat them head to head and all this. I mean, they probably have better losses than us, is my thought.
Right.
But yeah, who knows with Arizona? Maybe we need to be under the radar coming into March because every year people like to pick us and then we don't do as good as people think.
Yeah, that's what I usually
So.
do. Whenever Arizona looks pretty good, I usually pick them to do well, and they end up doing terrible. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gonzaga, he pointed this out to me last night. I'm not
yeah, Gonzaga made a huge statement. What was it? It had to be a couple months ago, I guess. They
No,
played Loyola the
I don't
first
think
time.
it was that long ago.
It was like right once the semester started.
I feel like we talked about it on the pod, though. I don't know. Anyways, sorry.
Maybe. Anyway, Gonzaga at home lost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, at home lost to Loyola Marymount. Close game. I think they end up losing by 2 or 3 or something. But last night they go on the road, and people were thinking maybe Loyola Marymount might have a chance to beat them again. They got them at home. Well, Gonzaga goes in and wins by 50. So huge statement made. I think Gonzaga is possibly underrated for the first time in a long time. They're usually a team that I'd say is really
What
overrated.
is their rank? Are they like 16 or something?
Yeah, they're
That
like a
sounds
4
right.
seed right now,
Okay.
which
No,
he
Suggs
wasn't
was not there, but
was Holmgren.
Holmgren was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it more reflects just this year in college basketball, them being that low, and they've kind of
Yeah,
they've struggled. a
they've
bit,
definitely
but
faltered, but
yeah,
I don't know.
the tournament's gonna be nuts. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, this is weird to say, but if you want to make money in brackets, maybe just don't watch and just fill out the bracket. You have good odds.
Yeah, no kidding.
But
It's
yeah,
gonna be one of those years for sure. But no one's gonna have a clue what's going on. There's gonna be I could see there being one of those years where there's like 6 seeds and 5 seeds like in the final four, like
Hmm.
multiple seeds outside of the top, three.
Yeah, that's
that
fair.
make the final four.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's my bold hot take. 2 teams that are seeded worse than a 3 seed are gonna make the final four this year.
Write the announcement. Heard it here first. We'll see if you fill out your bracket like that. Or
I
if
won't
you
fill
do
out
it
my
like
bracket like that.
that. Okay, we got U of A, a 3, Arizona, a 3 seed. That's some BS. And then I'm reading comments, by the way. And then how we feeling about Florida Atlantic? Believe they just lost.
I'm very worried about Florida
Didn't they just lose
Atlantic
last night or
because
something?
yeah,
Yeah.
if they lose maybe just one more game, I think that their at-large bid could be at risk.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And
New Mexico.
that's hard
Same thing.
to swallow because you would think that the whole season, I mean, they're top 20 in the net. They had like 2 losses. They were really cruising, and then they've lost a couple times in the last couple weeks. And now, if they lose once or twice more, everything is basically going to come down to their conference tournament. And that's not really what you want if you're them. I think
Yeah.
you'd much rather have your spots secured, but
Oh, no doubt. But one thing is, if you get hot now, maybe you don't get an at large, but you kind of, if people aren't paying attention, you kind of sneak in against some team. And I mean, but they've been ranked so early. You're not gonna fool anyone.
right. No.
No. Good question.
No, they have good
I don't know.
guards though. To speak on the team, they can
Yeah.
really score points in bunches. They have a really good backcourt too. So
Yeah. And actually, a sad thing, honestly, is like New Mexico. They were undefeated, and they're gonna need to do some magic late in the season. Like probably win the conference tournament at this point. But,
yeah, same with Charleston too. I don't think they have a spot anymore without winning their conference. So some teams that people thought were going to be possible at larges and bid stealers and stuff,
yeah.
I don't know. It's good news for the bubble teams.
Good news if you're like a North Carolina, Kentucky, a Michigan State, teams that don't belong, but they have a good name and on their chest. So anyway, yeah, that is a good question. Define at large. At large means you get into the tournament even if you don't win your conference tournament. If you win the conference tournament, every conference, that team automatically is in the tournament. March Madness. So.
Is there 32 auto
That
bids?
sounds right to me. Yeah.
32 auto bids and 36.
Yeah.
That'd be
the math there, yeah. 68 teams.
There's 68 teams? No, there's more than that.
I think there's 68, 64.
Yeah, 68 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 32, 36 at large bids, which sounds like a lot when you think about it. But
yeah, but then once you think of all the small schools are not getting the at large bids rarely. That's why this was like noteworthy that these teams were good enough to even be in contention for that.
Yeah, no, there are less than normal though. Usually there are a couple teams that would be at large, and now it's starting to look like there's maybe not even any.
Which is weird because these teams were not even just like, oh, they're good, they're ranked. Like they were ranked at one point. And now it's just completely. But that's the world. You're on top of the world, and then you get smashed on the ground.
Yeah, but you look at like Wichita State, Loyola Chicago's, your VCU's.
That's
from
true,
years
yeah.
past. Usually, like after a big run, they have an at-large chance, or they're ranked most of the season. But this year, those teams were there, but they're kind of falling off.
That's a good point. They were like new teams this year, but yeah, no, I think you're right. Kind of, I'm losing.
Team that is starting to sneak their way towards it is Oral Roberts. I don't know how close they
I
are.
thought of them as an at
I don't know how close they are to an at-large bid. Probably not. I don't know, but they are really starting to heat up. So
Yeah, which is I don't know what you do with that team because I feel like it's an easy pick first round without seeing who they have, assuming they're in the tournament, they don't falter in the conference tournament and they get in at large, whatever. They make the tournament. Like they're an easy upset pick, but at the same time, if you know college basketball at all as like a coach, if the coach of the other team isn't living under a rock, he's going to know, oh, these guys are really good, and they have been for years. So, I mean, they're not going to be the Cinderella team they were before. So
why not?
well, you're just going to be respected. So, I mean,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
but they're going to be respected. So, I mean,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
but they could make a run. I'd
Yeah.
like to see it, but I don't know. It's something to be said for catching people off guard in March.
Still got one of the leading scorers in the country, Max Asmus, still there. See if he can make some March magic again.
That's true. Yeah.
You want to get into these picks for this week?
One thing I have to.
We gotta.
I have to deal with
address
something.
the
So
elephant in the room.
there's no elephant. So new segment this week. Probably a one-time segment, but the moment called for it. Last night, actually, I was deep in thought and came upon us.
Full disclosure: I have no idea what he's about to say, so we'll have to.
It's nothing vulgar or anything.
But so it's called Clown of the Week.
Okay.
So just a clown.
I feel like there
Let me
could be
get that
clowns of the week. I don't
Yeah.
think you need to define clown.
I don't know. Yeah, that's true. Everyone, yeah, even if you
Clowns
don't,
are people who don't watch Hardwood Homies podcast and YouTube videos.
we have some. I was gonna say
Outside.
clown.
Outside the window right now, there's people just honking horns like crazy. I don't know. Sounds like a parade of clowns. I don't know what's going
Yeah.
on. Anyway,
Someone says Zion is always Clown of the Week. Not Zion.
Zion isn't clown of the week. He's chubbers of the week.
Oh, jeez.
Shovers of the year, actually.
Why is he always injured? God.
Pelicans fans, delusional. So yes, Clown of the Week, a guy by the name of Joe Lenardi. And there's a quote that sums up.
I feel like Lenardi's
Like-
the clown of the year every year, to be honest with you.
I
But
I
you know
would-
who the real clowns are is
Uh.
the stupid March Madness selection committee that just hears whatever he says and just does it, right?
I think
Does he have that influence?
Or is
No,
he
I
taking
think-
it from them?
he
don't know.
takes it from them. But I'm still going to say it's a Clown of the Week. And Bill Walton, okay, let's get this out of the way. He's a Pac-12 homer. He's delusionally in love with the conference, but
Yeah.
he's also, he knows a lot of stuff. If you listen to his commentary, he's not talking about the game half the time. You love him or hate him. But anyway, last night during the Arizona game, he had one of the most savage takedowns of someone I've ever heard.
Oh, my gosh, I just read the Instagram comment nearly. Oh, God.
So Walton said Joe Lenardi is a troll who has no respect or consideration for the Conference of Champions. This is a coworker of his, so I don't know what kind of workplace is going on at ESPN, but Lenardi. Okay, he has 2 Pac-12 teams in the tournament. I'm not delusional, but there should at least be 3. My opinion, especially when I see some of the bubble teams, the Big Ten. I don't know
Yeah,
who you have. But
Who
anyway,
would it be if you were USC?
USC or I honestly I would almost say Utah. They beat us at home. They haven't completely wasted their opportunities.
Yeah.
They have about the same record as some of these other teams on the bubble who haven't really beat.
No, yeah, I
anyone.
agree.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we talked about, I think I've said this before too, is the Pac-12, those teams had really bad non-conference schedules.
They did, yes.
And that's where Clemson's at right now too. Just to draw a comparison. Clemson
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Utah, I think, are similar.
That
They're
is a
both
good-
similar ranked in their conferences, good records, but they just didn't beat anyone outside of that, so they're on the bubble right now.
But Clemson's been better in conference, I think.
Yeah, a
And
little
It's
bit.
in a better
They're
conference
falling
this
off a
year,
little
so-
more, but yeah.
You're right.
But I
there.
think it's a similar comparison.
Yeah, and the reason why I like this comment so much is not just this East Coast bias stuff, whatever. It's if you even watch basketball at all on the western part of the country, it's not if you're on the East Coast, you're probably going to get more teams in, and it's not always deserved. But anyway, me and Mr. Lenardi had a bit of a
Did you
Twitter.
talk to him?
No, okay,
Oh.
so a few years
I
ago
thought
on
he replied
Twitter.
to you. Or something.
Well, he did.
Oh, he
I
has.
DM'd him like during
You
COVID.
DM.
Yeah, I did, and I was like, "Hey, like Arizona's games kept getting canceled,"
Yeah.
and I was like, "Are they gonna pretty
Oh, I
much?
think I remember.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
are they gonna be fair to us because we keep having games canceled, and then we might just have a bunch of games scheduled on top of each other? Like,
Mhm.
you know, how are they going to compare this to teams that haven't dealt with a bunch of canceled games?" And, you know, he could be like, "Oh, this is a 20-year-old, kind of maybe a funny question, whatever. I'll be nice." Well, he was a sarcastic jerk to me, and I never am going to follow him again. And last thing, I used to want his job. I'm still jealous of his job, but let me make this
Who
clear.
isn't?
And I still stand by that, but there's something we have to acknowledge. If your living is bracketology, that's a joke of a job. I don't want to call him out like that, but it is. That's not a job. What?
No.
It's-
It's like
it's
a
a job.
passion that you get paid for.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, which is the dream
Dream
job.
job, but
yes. And we reference his bracketology, so I get the contradictions going on. But yeah, clown job, clown takes,
Well, the
jerk to
reason that-
me. Thank
yeah.
you, Lenardi. Bye
the
bye.
reason that I hate the job is that it's like a guilty pleasure. Like you want to check the rankings to see what your team's doing, see the bubble, all that stuff. But at the same time, you don't want to know because it kind of diminishes Selection Sunday.
Yeah.
And on the other hand,
He somehow knows every single team and their ranking, even though it doesn't make sense. So he's either stealing like information from the board
They're leaking.
the
to him.
committee
or they're just giving him what they're talking about, or the guy's a whatever.
psychic.
Yeah, well, I couldn't even think of the word. I was gonna say psychotic.
That too.
That too.
No, but yeah, psychic. Yes.
But yeah, no, I don't know. His whole yeah, I don't like it too much, but
You know,
yeah.
I still check it. So
No, exactly. Same. I mean, I think I made my point clear on him. He's clown of the week.
clown of
but,
the week.
Yeah. And one thing I'm not gonna
go back and say Boeheim's the clown of the week from last week. though.
yes, explain it then.
He made
He's the
all I know.
Syracuse head coach.
All I know is he made a statement last week that was something like NIL is ruining college basketball where teams like Miami and Pittsburgh can just buy their teams and win games.
Yeah.
And I don't know. He's just so out of touch, I feel like, especially considering Miami added only 2 new players to this year's team. It's like entirely the entirety of their team is mostly built not through NIL.
Yeah.
so for him to say something like that just makes him a clown. So
Clown of the week last week, Jim Boeheim.
And you're the coach of Syracuse, and your team has not been good for quite a few years.
Let's pretend they didn't buy Carmelo Anthony back in the day.
There you go.
So anyway,
Yeah. So I don't even know where to go.
let's get into some picks.
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's get into
put
some
this off so long.
First
You're like
game.
having an internal monologue. Out loud.
First game, Baylor at
Kansas, probably the game of the week.
1 second.
What happened? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna make my pick first. I'm actually gonna go Baylor for this first pick. I love their guards. They've been really hot lately. Baylor is going to make a statement this week. I think they're going to beat Kansas and show that they're the best team in the Big 12.
Kansas, probably the hardest place to play is Allen Fieldhouse.
Oh, I agree with that.
It's a home game for Kansas. Baylor's been good, but Kansas has been really good, I would say. And I don't know. I mean, the biggest thing for me is like home court advantage. But I will say this: the team that wins that game, I think, is the team the rest of the season, unless they have some big downfall after Saturday. Whoever wins, you have to assume they're one of the best teams in the country by far. I would
Yeah.
say.
No, yeah. Top 10 matchup. Baylor's moved into the top 10. They're 9. Kansas is 5. Going to be a wild one.
And I'm trying to one of those teams. Who is it? One of them. Who lost to Texas recently? Baylor or Kansas? Kansas just beat them.
Baylor lost to Texas.
Yeah, but Baylor's been very good. I think their last loss was January 30th to Texas, which
Yeah, they've been.
tells you a lot
Oh,
about
yeah.
how they're
It was a
playing.
close game too.
Yeah,
And it was at Texas on most losses.
sounds right. Yeah, so no, different picks there.
Yeah.
No, moving on. Second game, we got more Big 12. That's going to become a recurring theme, if you could guess it.
Best conference in America.
Yeah.
So
Iowa State at Kansas State.
Number 12 versus number 19.
yeah, Kansas State. Kansas State has really struggled as of late, I guess is safe to say. It's a 12 versus 19 matchup. Kansas State is 12. But I don't know. I just think
No.
they're
Kansas
not.
State 19. Iowa State's.
Oh, geez. Okay, glad. So I guess it would be an upset, but I also like the home team. I mean, this is their chance to turn things around a bit, is how I view it. And
Yeah.
it's just Iowa State's good, but I don't view them quite as highly how I view it. And
Yeah.
it's just Iowa State's good, but I don't view them quite as highly as I
Yeah.
think other people.
No, Iowa State wants to win this game. Kansas State needs to win this game. I'm going Kansas State as well. So
And Kansas State has lost 3 of 4. So I mean, that's when I say right the ship. That's kind of
yeah, no, they've been struggling ever since I put them on the map. Ever since I said that these guys are really good, they've been struggling. So
Yeah, and I went along with it because I still believe it.
I do too. They
I
could
know.
find it. Their offense just hasn't been clicking lately. I'm not sure why, but yeah. Next, Kansas, another big one at TCU.
Yeah, actually, go. I just want it first.
Yeah. No. I'm gonna go Kansas in that one. I think that Kansas is a lot better than TCU right now. TCU's reeling. I just don't think that TCU is going to be able to force the turnovers against Kansas. I think Kansas is a really disciplined team, and if TCU can't score in transition, they can't score at all. So I'm going Kansas.
Yeah, TCU also not been great as of late, but I'm picking them not just because they're at home, but Mike Miles. So he is back. I think for their Oklahoma State game, which comes before the Kansas game, obviously. But he'll be back. I think that's big for them. I feel like they also kind of need a win here. I mean,
Yeah.
you have Kansas coming to town. Should be a great environment.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think they'll pull it off. So.
Yeah, no, definitely they could. Fourth game we got Marquette at Creighton. Big East is impossible to guess this year. I feel like so is the Big 12.
I'm not picking the home team here. Marquette, I think I'm high on Creighton, but Marquette, who I think last week I kind of brushed them aside, and then they had a big road win. But they have 4 guys scoring in double figures.
Yeah,
I don't
no.
know. They're balanced. They're like 80 points a game. Their defense a bit suspect, but
They force a lot of turnovers,
Yeah.
though. That Shaka Smart, throw back to his VCU days,
Yeah.
where they play up tempo, make the other team, rush and get out of their stuff. So
yeah.
I'm actually gonna go Creighton though.
All right.
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
like
you should
I like the home crowd of
Creighton, they've been playing well lately. I think that they're going to get a win at home. So I'm just going to
Yeah,
go Creighton.
it's not a bad pick. One name watching that game, Cam Jones. He's a Marquette's leading scorer, about 15 a game. Maybe he has a big game on the road. Maybe he struggles. It could be an indicator when your best player is playing good or bad on the road.
Yeah.
Kind of matters. So,
Yeah. Next game we got Indiana at Michigan State. This is a tough one actually. I don't even know who I want to pick here. I think I'm just going to go home team. I'm going to go Michigan State. Indiana really could use a win here, but Michigan State usually seems to start doing well right when March is around the corner.
That's right,
So
yes.
I'm going to throw Michigan State out there. I think they're going to get this one.
I didn't think of that, and I kind of like that reasoning, literally just the March fact, to be honest with you. But I'm going with Indiana. Michigan State, I do not know. I guess I know why they're on the bubble. I think they're kind of frauds. I don't know who they beat. Indiana, I think, is a good team. You can't deny it. As much as I bash the Big Ten, I think Indiana's legit. And yeah, they lost to Northwestern, but Northwestern has been beating everyone in the conference. So Yeah, and one thing to note, Michigan State, that'll be their second game since this is taking a dark turn, not in a funny way, but a mass shooting on their campus. The reason I bring that up is you have to like
Yeah, no, that's
factor
huge.
that into games. They're playing with a lot of emotion. I mean, they're playing Michigan first, which I think you'll see more of that in that game. But maybe
Yeah.
they're a bit
Is that-
rusty.
At home or is that on the road? Do you know?
I almost think it's on the road because I think I was reading where Michigan's gonna like. Ooh, no, I think it might be at home actually because I think they're giving. I almost think it's on the road because I think I was reading where Michigan's gonna like. Ooh, no, I think it might be at home actually because I think they're giving out like armbands or. Either way, they're having a lot of like
Yeah.
tribute
No. Yeah.
stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So, but yeah, just keep that in mind. Who knows? Maybe that gives them some added motivation because that your campus gets shattered by violence
Yeah.
like that, and you don't know how a team's going to
Yeah.
respond.
Feels like a lot
So,
of times teams do win after stuff like that. It kind of just brings everyone together, playing for something bigger.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No. Terrible stuff, but yeah, should be. Yeah.
Should be a
Big
good game.
weekend.
I'd
for
expect it
them,
to be
yeah.
good.
Oh yeah, I do too. I think that'll be a really good game. Moving on, Providence at UConn.
Ooh, I don't even. I want you to go first.
You want me to
I'm
go
going to
first?
stall here, to be honest.
Oh man. Oh.
I don't. I'm gonna go UConn. I like UConn a lot. I've been high on them all year. I think that they've got the shooting, they've got the depth, they've got big guys. Sonogo, he's a stud. I'm gonna go UConn.
Ugh, I'm kind of struggling with this one. But yeah, I think I'll go with UConn as well. Um, if I'm correct here, I think they lost a tough one last weekend.
Yeah, they lost to Creighton.
But yeah, but they've had like a week. They're not playing. Okay, they're playing Seton Hall and then this game.
Mhm.
But I think you have a tough loss. It's not like they were terrible in that game or anything.
No,
So
yeah, it was a back and
Yeah.
forth the whole way.
yeah, I think you recover from that and you get a kind of a big win against a good Providence team. I see them winning. So.
Yeah. Now we got a pretty big rivalry game: North Carolina, NC State, ACC battle.
Yeah, NC State just lost to Syracuse, which is a game they definitely shouldn't have lost.
No,
It was on the road. If the better team wins,
Syracuse is a weird
Yeah.
team, though. I will say that they have that kind of feel again as one of those teams that could somehow.
every year.
Sneak and maybe win the ACC.
There's a lot of teams that
Oh,
could
in the
win those.
tournament? Or
Yeah.
you mean not regular season?
Well, if they don't win the conference, they're not getting
Yeah,
to the tournament. So I'm just saying, like, they could get hot right about now. Is all I'm going to say.
They like to do things in March, even
Yeah.
though I don't think half the time the team's that good.
Right.
I don't get it. But
It's hard.
oh
It's
yeah.
like a different defense, and you don't have time to really prepare for it.
Zone causes so much trouble for so many teams. Like if
Mhm.
you don't see it a lot, then
Yeah, and they recruit guys to play the zone. They got long, athletic guys.
Yeah.
It's not just like, you're playing a team that can't shoot well. Let's play 2-3 zone. Syracuse plays 2-3 zone no matter what. So they recruit the guys and they practice it every day in practice. It's not just
A lot of teams just kind of throw a 2-3 zone in.
yeah.
Yeah, it's different when
That's
you
a
have
good
to
point.
Because when you're in, March.
in March during the tournament. You only have like a couple days to really prepare for a team. So it's
Yeah, no,
tough
that's a
to.
good point actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but who you liking that?
You want me to go? I'll go. I like NC State. I think they get a big bounce back. They got some good players. Terquavion Smith,
Yeah, I can
tough name. I think leads the conference in scoring. And DJ Burns, he transferred from Winthrop last year, and Winthrop was pretty good. They were a 12 seed in the tournament just a couple years ago, and he was on that team. He's been a pretty good transfer. He's humongous. But yeah, we'll go NC State.
Yeah, NC State. I'm not gonna give
Hopefully
as
I can
in
learn to
depth as
speak.
you, but I'm impressed by Burns. I didn't know that about him. But yeah, NC State. If the best team wins, they win. North Carolina.
What are
I
they? Have
really
they lost
hope they-
4 in a row now? Because they haven't played since
Yeah,
Miami,
feel
right?
like they have lost. I don't know. This is a big game, but like, yeah, there's nothing more that needs to be said. I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's just kind of this is a part where we were kind of running out of teams when I threw them in, but Iowa State at just kind of this is a part where we were kind of running out of teams when I threw them in, but Iowa State at Texas.
Oh no, I like picking that game. Fine. Texas here. Texas is a better team. Once again, I don't really Iowa State. Yes, a few times I've had to acknowledge, geez, they beat Kansas pretty good at home. They beat TCU this week, but I don't care. I'm not picking them.
Yeah,
So.
no, I'm not either. Iowa State on the road against Texas, not going to happen.
Yeah,
They're really good at home. On the road, it gets kind of sketchy because teams hit shots and
They don't when they play at Iowa State.
yeah,
So
it's true.
yeah, UCLA at Utah.
I'm curious who you
Little
pick for this.
Pac-12
I'm kind of torn on this.
I'm going Utah. I am
Okay.
going Utah. I think that UCLA struggled with Stanford last night
Yeah, they did.
on the road. Utah is better than Stanford. And
That's for sure.
being on the road again, Utah's reeling. I think Utah's going to win that one. I think it's a big upset.
See, I'm kind of torn because when I'm thinking of this game, I also acknowledge that if Arizona wants to win the regular season or a share, they have to win out and most likely win out, and UCLA has to lose at least once and probably to us later on. But this is the only opportunity I see UCLA losing until we play them. So I'm good. I'll pick Utah. I don't.
You're going Utah as
Yeah,
well. Wow.
They have Brandon Carlson, if I have his name right.
Yeah.
Their
Raleigh
best player.
Worcester
Yeah,
from Montana, played for Hellgate.
That's
Went to Utah State and then ended up transferring to Utah, and he's kind of their starting point guard. He's, really good passer. He doesn't, score a lot, but he fills up the stat sheet for sure. Rebounding, passing, good player. So
yeah. I didn't,
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, so I'm gonna admit, part of me doesn't even see Utah winning the game. It's one of those things I can't visualize, but I mean they're good enough to do it there at home. So let's hope they.
Yeah.
win.
And then we got last game, Tennessee at Kentucky.
this might be the hardest game to pick for them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's a weird game.
Not in terms of what's a better team. That's
It is
fairly
going to
obvious.
be so low scoring.
I'll go first here,
Yeah.
just because I want to talk about this.
Thank you.
Tennessee's
Rescuing me.
defense is
Really, really good. Kentucky's offense is terrible. If you take out offensive rebounding, Kentucky would score like 40 points a game. They're so bad. And Tennessee's offense is real bad too. So that being said, I will pick Tennessee like 46-42.
Yeah. Oof. Oh, geez. I'm literally just remembering that like at the beginning, no, about halfway through this month, Kentucky was like, people were calling for Calipari, their head coach. They wanted him gone, this legendary coach. And then they beat Tennessee on the road, I guess.
Yeah.
because this is a home game.
So, see, part of me, I was very close to picking Kentucky, but keeping that in mind, I think Tennessee, I don't see an inferior team beating them twice, especially when I think it's a fairly big disparity between the two teams.
I do too. Yeah.
So I can't, even though it's on the road, it's going to be tough. I mean, but yeah, I got to go with.
Yeah.
We picked. The weird thing is, the first five we were split on almost every game, and the back five we were like identical. That's what I noticed.
Yeah, after we hit, literally, yeah.
Did we even pick one? Oh, we picked
We
Kansas
picked
State.
one, we both picked Kansas State. So
6 of our 10 picks are the same.
Not much room this week, but yeah, we're tied 5-5. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's gonna.
Yeah, it'll come down to Baylor, Kansas, and Kansas, TCU, Marquette, Creighton, Michigan State. Indiana. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's mostly it for us. I mean, if people have questions, as always, I feel like you would have already thrown them in, though.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, good stuff. Another fun episode.
it was
Fun
fun.
to
Yes.
talk about. We'll have
To see how this goes this week and move towards a punishment or a reward or whatever we're doing. So
Yeah, and are we getting? And I've been the one dragging my feet on this, but the team previews.
Yes,
Like
yes.
This weekend, we'll
This
probably
week.
have one or two.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
we should try to do one Saturday and one Sunday.
Yeah. Maybe Purdue. We're
Yeah,
talking about
we
them.
do Purdue and Alabama maybe, or Purdue and Houston.
Yeah. Okay.
One of those A combination of 2 of those 3 will be done this week.
And we have a question before we leave. Where's Russell Westbrook going? And the Suns.
China.
Don't say
Welcome to
such a
the
thing.
Shanghai.
Starks Westbrook, or should I say Westbrick?
Oh, the slander. Westbrook. I almost called him Westbrook because you called him. Not one of his biggest
Shanghai
fans.
Sharks.
I'm like a huge fan of Westbrook. You know what? I'm just gonna say it, Zach. Thanks for the question, but you're the one who told me he may go to the Thunder. So, geez, he
The
may go.
Thunder?
He may go to the Suns. I'm
He's
gonna
not
hope
going to
that's
the
the case.
Suns.
Him and Durant reunite. Wouldn't that be cute?
No, it'd be stupid. Why did the Suns detriment their team like that?
I know. I'm not sure it would be a good fit, but they already, when you trade away all your good young players for a great player, but a guy who can't,
How
has
can
not,
they
I don't know.
afford his
Contract is the real question.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm just saying the Suns, huge trade. They're a contender, but we have to acknowledge that they traded away youth and a good team
Yeah,
for a
it's
title and a guy.
yeah.
He's
They've
never
got,
won without a
they've got
super.
what, 2 years?
do it. That's it. 2
Yeah.
years, and if they don't win in 2 years, their franchise is.
Pretty much. I mean, I think even if you do win, it's kind of hurt.
Yeah.
I don't think they stay. But Durant, his only
Well,
title
it's,
is
yeah,
from
it's
the
hurt,
Warriors.
but you would give up a future to win a championship.
I guess that's more of the way society
well, what's the
is.
point, though?
That's more of the way society
What's
is.
the point of having youth
Look
if
at the
it's not
Rams.
to help you win a championship?
Well, it's cool to watch a team like build up and like we drafted good or we made some
Yeah.
trades and they developed and we won.
Well,
But
that's
like
fair.
We're going all in to win a title, and
But have the Suns proved that they can't win with their youth right now? I don't win with their youth right now. I don't
I don't
know.
think
Do you,
they
do you think they could have done it?
I
don't
mean,
know.
they had their
Everyone-
chance, I guess.
yeah.
But part of me still wants to believe, but they didn't look like it so far this year. So you might have a point there. They definitely did try that. They didn't
Yeah.
just completely like go
Right.
from terrible to Booker. Yeah, and my point about Durant is he has not won any titles without being on the Warriors super team. So we'll see. Really great player, that's obvious. Booker is a magnet for good players, so the future isn't over. No, it is not, but we'll see. A lot can change in a
Yeah.
few years. How does he
No,
do with
yeah.
Durant? I don't know.
It's going to be a bizarre last couple months of the NBA after the All-Star break. So
Wasn't last night Durant's first game with them? Almost
No,
a
he
goal.
didn't play it.
He didn't play. Was he just in attendance or something?
Something like that.
Okay. That is weird. I find it so weird how sometimes these
and,
players
yeah, they play
immediately
immediately.
He's
Yeah.
like Kyrie.
2 weeks or something.
Mhm.
Like, okay, well, must be nice. So he didn't play. There we go. We got the insider information.
Yep.
That's
That's Zach Owens.
Yeah,
He's
my-
going to be our new NBA insider.
my brother.
And that's been a thought for a while.
It
now,
has
but
been a thought. I don't know. if
hasn't
we-
quite come
I
to
don't know if he
fruition.
wants the gig. I don't know if we have the resources to pay him.
We don't have the resources.
But yes, and then we have Keegan saying it's over, throwing the towel. I think he's talking about the Thunder. Yeah, it's been over for a while, but we're actually doing better. But I don't care as much. They traded Westbrook away. Anyway, people don't care about my personal feelings about the Thunder.
People
So-
don't care about your personal feelings.
Yeah, we could leave it at that. All right. It's been a fun.
It is.
It's been real. Hasn't been real fun. Just kidding. It has been real fun. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. Have a
Peace.
good one.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.